Okay, so what we're doing now is trying to fix video 3 that was messed up. So apparently I've been watching the video and I talk with my hands a whole lot, and as I see that it's really strange. I don't know if I do this all the time or not, but I'm going to try not to. It's probably going to happen as we get going. This is video 3 replacement, so I'm going to try to fix that, and so I'll explain that more as we go. But we should have picked up here. I had talked about these, and then we go to the next slide. What you're going to see is us talking about each of them individually. So I will go on and move to the next slide so we can move on from there. But we're talking about sole proprietorships. We're talking about the 5 advantages, and as we talk about, there's going to be disadvantages if there are advantages. So we'll talk about the advantages first, then we'll go into the disadvantages. I may mention some of the disadvantages along the way, but you never know. I mean, you know I'm crazy. So, all right, so easy to start, as we mentioned, there's a small amount of paperwork, okay, when it comes to being able to start up your sole proprietorship. There's not a lot going on because I get to work out of my home. If you remember mentioning that in the previous videos, you get to work out of your home. If you can work out of your home, I don't need a site permit, which is you're going to see as one of the next one of the things that they have here. A site permit. I don't need that. I'm going to need a business license. I'm going to need that to conduct business, but I'm not necessarily going to have to have a site permit unless I'm working somewhere in a building somewhere that's not your home. One of the cool things about a sole proprietorship is I get to work out of my home if I want to. And so that makes things cheaper, it makes things easier, and therefore fewer requirements. Because I don't have a lot of employees working for me, I don't have to worry about a lot of the tax stuff, about employee benefits, about OCHA, I think it's what the acronym is, OHA, whatever it is, for all the operating stuff that we talked about as a I can't remember the stuff that it talks about minimum wage, talks about your rights as an employee. OSHA, excuse me, OSHA, I knew it'd come to me in a minute, with your bureaucracy branch, if you remember that, when we talked about back in government. So you don't have to deal with much of that stuff because it is sole proprietorship. You may be the only employee that works there. You may enlist somebody to work with. You may hire somebody. A lot of times in a sole proprietorship, who works for those? The kids work for those, or family members work for those. But the thing about a kid, and I may have mentioned the other video, I may not have, but one thing about the kid working there is I don't have to pay them minimum wage. If Sky works for me, I don't have to pay her minimum wage because she's my kid. She's duty bound to work for us, for me, in my business. I don't have to pay her. I probably would pay her for her time because I'm a good father, but I don't have to by law because she's duty bound to me to work for me because it's part of our lifestyle. What do I do for her in payment? I put a roof over her head. I send her to school. I feed her. All those things that your parents have probably hung over your head at some point, it's because you're duty bound to serve them in that capacity. So that's part of your lifestyle as a child, as an adult, so that if you have a sole proprietorship, you're probably going to have your kid work. You may hire your sister, your brother, somebody like that. That's a different deal. If they're working for you, there's going to be taxes. You're going to have to pay them a proper amount, different things like that. You may cash money on the table. That's on you. That's in between y'all. I don't know how it's all going to work on your end, but I wouldn't recommend that necessarily all the time. It depends on how good you are with tax stuff. But anyway, easy to start up, not a lot going on. I have a product, I want to sell a product, I want to make a product, and I want to do it out of my household, or I want to get a site to do it out of a business location somewhere. If I do that, I have to have a permit to operate that out of. And then, of course, I need a name. If I'm not using the name, my personal name, if I name my business Coach Nick, I don't have to register that name. That's my name, I do what I want to with it. But if I'm going to sell furniture and I want to call it Rick's Furniture, and my name's not Rick, I'm going to have to get my name registered to make sure that I'm not infringing anybody else's trademark stuff. I can't make a pizza place called Pizza Hut because that name's already there. If my name is Pizza Hut, I better not have a red roof. I better not have an awesome buffet at lunchtime. I better not do the pizza the same way because they're going to know that I'm copying stuff. But as long as it's not my name, as long as it's my name, I can use it. It's not my name, I have to register it. So pretty easy to start up, as we talked about. Very few regulations we talked about coming from the government, as I mentioned before. A lot of times it's mostly going to be zoning laws. What you run into with the zoning laws is I probably can't conduct business out of my house in Green Oaks. D1 probably can't conduct business out of his house because he's in Green Oaks. We are probably zoned not to be able to do that. Why? Because right next to us is Highway 12. Right next to us is a place that is industrial, it's zoned for businesses and things like that. This is a neighborhood you don't want a whole lot of traffic and start coming into. A neighborhood with kids running around, coming run off the highway because it's a lot of traffic, a lot of dangers, and a lot of different, roadways getting worn down, sidewalks getting messed up, whatever it happens to be. You're going to have a lot of different issues with that. So it's probably zoned not to work. I don't know that because I've not checked the zoning laws, but most likely it's not the case. You go up into Sturgis and it's not going to be zoned so they can't do business. That's why a lot of people do business out of their home in the country, cut hair out of their home, or a little shack on the side of their house, whatever it happens to be, because they're not zoned that way. They can do that. And there will be places around here that you can find that are probably zoned to do work at your home, but I'm betting Green Oaks is not one of them. And probably a lot of the neighborhoods are zoned that way even around, because Starkville's such a big city in comparison to others. I mean, you go to Newton, you can probably live right next to the hospital and still do work out of your home. Find out zoned that way. Difference in sizes in cities. New York, same way. It'd be a lot of different zoning stuff. It could be a lot looser because of where the city is and where an apartment is. You could be doing business right below an apartment, right next to a house. It all depends because it's just all zoned different. State laws dictate those things. So the main regulation you may have is, if I mentioned in an earlier video, that if you are doing like furniture and you're dealing with paints and stains, you may have to get some sort of chemical license or make sure you're up to code on those things. If you're doing bakery, of course, you got to do your food codes. You got to stay up to code. The letter I mentioned that in a previous video, I think, your NBC, your food ratings, you have to get those things done because you're handling people's food. So those are going to be your regulations there if I'm a sole proprietor and I want to do business. Zoning laws, food codes, meal preparation codes, and then, of course, your chemical codes for painters, things like that if you're doing a business. As it says there, zoning laws may prohibit you from doing business out of a home. One of the major benefits, of course, that you get, you're going to be the sole receiver of profit. That's one of the reasons that so many people go into business as a sole proprietor, is that the profits intrigue them. The chance to be your own boss, the chance to not have to sell a shirt for $20 and only get 5% of the profit off of it because you have to pay for the corporate person's car and all the people that own those things, the stock market, the stockholders and all those things. So taking that money, you sell that shirt and taking all the profits basically minus the expense you got to get there and basically pocketing it. So that motivates a lot of people to open their own business. As I mentioned before, 75% of all businesses in the United States are sole proprietors. However, what is the highest rate failure in businesses? It's going to be sole proprietors and local business, because they have to charge higher prices because not as many people come in. You go to a Bell's Building Supply, you go to a Lowe's, and you see how many the amount of traffic that comes through those two places every single day, and it's going to be totally different. Bell's Building Supply is going to be more expensive. They're also going to offer fewer things. Lowe's is going to be less expensive, offer more things, and have an opportunity to go in and get a lot more stuff. It's corporate versus buying locally. And as we've mentioned, and you've heard over the news in the past few days about buying locally, and the importance of it is because it's their way of life. This is their lifestyle, the stuff that they have, and that's why they sell a higher price, because they are trying to feed their family on that, where a corporation is not doing that. They have locations all over the United States, thousands of them. So the thing, you get full control over a sole proprietorship. What you're able to do is you can run the business how you want to. You can make decisions how you want to. One of the upsides is that whatever decision I make, if I want to react to the coronavirus and raise my prices or lower my prices, I can do that as a sole proprietor, where a corporation or a franchise can't do that. They have to call up the ladder and to find the person that can tell them to do it, it comes back down. Where if I own my own, if I own my own sole proprietorship, my own business, as I mentioned before, I go with a chalkboard, I erase it, and I write a new price up. So that's one of the major things. If I want to take a Monday off, and because that's what I want to do, I get to do that. I don't make money that day because my store's closed. And I'm probably not going to leave it in the hands of somebody like Gark. I'm not going to let him keep my business running while I'm on vacation for 2 weeks or for 1 day at that. I don't trust Gark with my business for 24 hours. So it all depends on the situation, but you have those decisions to make. If I want to work Tuesday through Sunday and have Monday off, or do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off, so turkey on every week, it's whatever you want to do, because you have the full control. The downside of that is that all the decision falls on you. You have to make those decisions, the tough decisions to let somebody go, what products we're going to make, what products we're going to buy, which ones we're going to take off the line. You may have people who you can talk to, but they're not invested in the business like you are. I mean, it's your lifestyle. So you have full control, but with that comes the responsibilities of having those. So again, I can respond quickly to any changes in the market, particularly price or price of a good, so I can buy other products. Taco Bell can't change their meat if the price goes up. You can adjust yours and find different meat if you're making some sort of tacos, if you have Glue's Tacos. If the business sucks, you get to close it down. Easy to discontinue is one of the major benefits of it. Easy to discontinue. I can shut it down if I'm not making money, or if I decide that I've made too much money, I want to do something different, or if I'm just tired of doing it, want to go back out to the corporate world, I can easily shut down my business with no major issues. I just basically close the doors, make sure my debts are paid, which I'm still responsible for, and I move on.